My name's Jeff, I'm 20 years old. I started using heroin and cocaine when I was 13, 14 years old. I used for a good 4 or 5 years. And, towards the end, I was physically, emotionally, spiritually, I had hit a rock bottom. I was robbing everyone around me. I was stealing from my parents. I was stealing from my best friends. I was stealing from a job. I got fired from every job that I worked at. I couldn't keep a job because I couldn't focus on anything except for what I needed to get my hands on. I lost everybody in my life. And I ended up by myself, and I eventually had to take a look at myself because no one else around me was telling me everything was okay. And luckily I had a doctor in town who I called him that night, and the next day he put me in Solutions Recovery. And I had never heard of this place. I had never heard of any place except for, like hospitals and stuff like that. And so they put me in here, and it didn't necessarily make my life better, but what it did, the people in here saved my life. They gave me opportunity to make my own life better. They gave me the opportunity to look people in the eye like I can today, whereas I couldn't do that before. It's where I can look you in the eye because I know I didn't do anything wrong to you. The people in here, a few choice people and counselors and people in here who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself and nobody else did, truly saved my life. Told me what my problem was, put me back on my feet, and saved my life. Did for me what I couldn't do for myself. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Solutions, and I know that. And I'm grateful for Solutions Recovery.
My name is John, I'm 35 years old, and I'm an addict. My drug of choice is crystal meth. I started using when I was real young, shooting heroin in my mother's arm. That's when I was introduced to drugs. My father was a meth cook, and he taught me how to cook meth at the age of 13 years old. I got into the drug scene, started using meth, and at the age of 15, I ended up committing a second-degree murder because of drugs, which later on sent me to prison for a bank robbery in 1995. I was shot 3 times by the police and was sent to prison for 120 months. Got out of prison, came out to Las Vegas, started cooking drugs out here because everybody stays up 24 hours out here. And then I ended up ODing on March 3rd, where I shot 150 cc's of crystal meth in my arm, and I did it because I wanted to feel normal. I wasn't enjoying life at all. And when I got out of the hospital, I had enough. I locked myself in the bathroom because I didn't want to use. I used to break the lock off the bathroom doors so I wouldn't go out and use. And then I ran into a guy by the name of Jeff who saved my life. He picked me up at Dottie's and brought me to the Solutions program, and here's where I found recovery. I found life. I found a better side of everything else, and through the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, I've got happy, and for those out there who don't believe that this will work, I'm a proven example of it, because if you go out there and continue to use, it's gonna take your life. I got 3 bullet holes on me from the police department, but I don't blame them today because it was my actions that put them there. And whoever sees this, I hope you really, really take a deep thought about what you're doing, because it will kill you.
Hi, my name is Eden, and I'm a recovering addict. Basically, I was asked to come and share where I was, where I am, and where I'm going. And when I first was looking into recovery, my sister had done some research for me and given me Solutions' phone number. And that was the first step that I had taken to save my own life. And I got in touch with Dave Marlin, and we talked for a long time. And that was the first time that I had realized that there was hope for me, that I wasn't alone, and that I was going to be able to take steps to save my own life.
My name's Kendall, and I'm 22 years old. I'm an alcoholic. Began drinking when I started college around the age of 18. At first, it was sporadic. I was responsible with my drinking, and quickly it progressed into something more serious. My family and friends pointed out the fact that I was an alcoholic. They saw it in me first and foremost, and quickly I realized that I am in fact an alcoholic, and that's when I sought help. My friend Jordan referred me to Solutions, and I came out here actually from Seattle. to get sober in Las Vegas, and 10 months later, it's worked beautifully. Solutions has given me a new way of life. They have been tremendously helpful in teaching me how to live on a spiritual plane without the substance, without the alcohol. And for that, I am so grateful to Solutions, so grateful for this newfound happiness.